After intimacy, people often react differently. Some feel relaxed, talkative, or sleepy, raising a simple question about what the body actually experiences during sex. Beneath these familiar reactions, complex biological processes unfold, involving the brain, hormones, nerves, and muscles working together behind the scenes. To understand these changes, science examines how sexual activity triggers coordinated responses across multiple systems inside the human body. Heart rate and blood pressure rise as vessels widen, directing oxygen-rich blood toward muscles and sensitive tissues involved in arousal and performance. At the same time, breathing accelerates, delivering more oxygen while helping regulate temperature and energy demands created by physical exertion during intimacy. Hormonal changes begin early, with dopamine driving motivation, anticipation, and reward-seeking behaviors linked to sexual activity, while other hormones coordinate physiological responses. Simultaneously, oxytocin and endorphins increase, promoting trust, relaxation, pain reduction, and emotional connection between partners during intimate contact and social bonding processes. The sympathetic nervous system dominates initially, preparing the body for action by sharpening attention and increasing muscular readiness and reflex coordination levels. As arousal progresses, blood vessels expand further, causing swelling and heightened sensitivity in specific tissues across the body for reproductive functions temporarily. These coordinated systems work together seamlessly, ensuring physical readiness, sensory focus, and emotional engagement throughout sexual interaction in healthy adult humans normally. For men, sexual stimulation eventually reaches a threshold known medically as ejaculatory inevitability, when release becomes unavoidable despite conscious control or intention. During this phase, muscle contractions intensify, pulse and blood pressure peak, and neural signals coordinate emission and ejaculation through precisely timed spinal reflexes. Immediately after orgasm, male arousal declines as blood flow decreases, muscles relax, and the body begins transitioning toward a resting physiological state. This recovery phase, called the refractory period, prevents immediate arousal and varies widely depending on age, health, hormones, and individual biology. Many men feel sudden fatigue after sex, not from rudeness, but due to neurological and hormonal shifts following intense stimulation and tension release. Brain chemistry changes dramatically as serotonin, oxytocin, norepinephrine, vasopressin, and nitric oxide flood neural pathways after ejaculation. These chemicals reduce anxiety, slow brain activity, and promote calmness, often producing drowsiness similar to post-exercise relaxation or deep relief. Prolactin plays a key role, reinforcing satisfaction and temporarily suppressing sexual desire, explaining why immediate interest in repetition often disappears. Research suggests prolactin release is stronger during partnered sex than solitary stimulation, intensifying feelings of completion and physical shutdown. As the nervous system settles, some men instinctively seek sleep, allowing the brain and body to reset after sustained physiological exertion. After orgasm, some men feel the urge to urinate, influenced by hormonal effects on the kidneys and pressure changes within the urinary system. Ejaculation temporarily closes the internal bladder sphincter, preventing urine flow until muscles relax and normal urinary function gradually returns. Minor soreness can occur as pelvic muscles recover from repeated contractions, though discomfort typically fades quickly without lasting effects. Testicles may appear smaller after sex because surrounding muscles contract, pulling them closer to the body for temperature and reflex regulation. Some men experience unexpected muscle cramps, especially in toes or legs, caused by spinal nerve stimulation during intense neurological activation. Emotional changes can follow orgasm as dopamine levels drop after peaking, creating a temporary contrast between stimulation and recovery states. This contrast between peak pleasure and recovery can briefly affect mood, reflecting natural brain chemistry shifts rather than emotional dissatisfaction or relationship issues. Mood changes vary widely, influenced by individual brain chemistry, emotional context, physical fatigue, and overall psychological well-being. While these effects are common, they are typically life-short and represent normal transitions between heightened arousal and baseline functioning. As the body stabilizes, attention gradually shifts away from stimulation toward rest, comfort, and physiological balance restoration. Women's physiological responses differ, beginning with increased blood flow to pelvic tissues, heightened sensitivity, and coordinated muscle contractions driven by neural signals. Female arousal involves complex brain activity, as regions regulating emotion and focus temporarily quiet, allowing heightened bodily awareness and immersion during intimacy. Orgasm in women often features rapid, rhythmic contractions, spreading through pelvic muscles and producing intense sensory and emotional experiences across the body. Neurochemicals surge after orgasm, including oxytocin and endorphins, promoting bonding, relaxation, and pain reduction throughout the body during postcoital recovery periods, naturally. Some women experience fluid release during orgasm, which science links to glands near the urethra rather than a health concern, medically speaking. Unlike men, many women lack a refractory period, allowing arousal to return quickly and enabling multiple orgasms in some individuals, physiologically possible. After sex, oxytocin release often increases in women, encouraging conversation, closeness, and emotional connection with partners during postcoital bonding and recovery phases. Hormonal differences help explain why post-sex behavior varies, as testosterone can limit oxytocin effects more strongly in men during recovery periods, biologically. Physical discomfort may occur, including uterine cramps or sensitivity, caused by muscle contractions and hormonal influences following orgasm and intense stimulation episodes. Breast tissue can temporarily swell after arousal, while nipple sensitivity increases due to heightened blood flow and nerve activity during postcoital phases. Sex can also affect emotions, with some women reporting confidence boosts, relaxation, or calmness following hormonal shifts, and psychological satisfaction after intimacy. Not all experiences are positive, as mood drops may occur when dopamine levels decline after intense pleasure subsides inside the brain temporarily. Men may experience postcoital sadness more frequently, linked to sharper dopamine withdrawal and neurological contrast after orgasm in the brain's chemistry changes. These emotional shifts reflect normal neurochemical cycles, not personal rejection, disinterest, or relationship dissatisfaction during recovery phases after sexual activity in humans. Biologically, sexual activity temporarily alters brain states, prioritizing reproduction, bonding, and stress reduction over analytical thinking during and shortly after orgasm phases. As arousal fades, parasympathetic nervous activity increases, slowing heart rate, relaxing muscles, and restoring internal balance across multiple body systems gradually overall. This recovery phase helps protect the body, preventing overstimulation and allowing tissues and neurons to reset safely after prolonged sexual exertion periods. While responses differ between sexes, many underlying processes overlap, revealing shared biological foundations beneath varied timing, intensity, and emotional expression. Underlying these responses is the brain's reward system, evolved to reinforce behaviors essential for survival and reproduction through pleasure and bonding mechanisms. Sexual physiology highlights how closely emotions, hormones, and neural circuits interact within the human body during intimate physical experiences across adulthood universally. Sex also influences sleep patterns as hormonal shifts and physical fatigue encourage rest, recovery, and memory consolidation after intense neurological stimulation episodes overall. Repeated activation of bonding and reward pathways during sex can influence long-term stress regulation through consistent neurochemical feedback loops in the brain. During intimacy, sensory focus narrows, decreasing awareness of external distractions as the brain prioritizes touch, rhythm, and emotional cues temporarily for efficiency purposes. This heightened focus explains why pain perception often decreases, as endorphins and attention shifts reduce discomfort signals during arousal states and orgasm phases. Afterward, the brain gradually rebalances, restoring normal cognitive processing, emotional regulation, and sensory thresholds as chemistry stabilizes across neural networks and systems body-wide. Hydration, nutrition, sleep, and emotional context influence recovery speed, shaping how individuals feel physically and mentally after sex during postcoital periods' overall well-being. Age and fitness also matter, as cardiovascular health and hormonal balance affect endurance, recovery, and post-sex sensations across different life stages significantly overall. Importantly, these responses represent normal biology, not performance measures, moral judgments, or indicators of relationship quality between partners during intimate activities, generally speaking. Understanding sexual physiology helps reduce misconceptions, encouraging healthier conversations, expectations, and empathy around intimacy and human connection in relationships and personal education contexts. Ultimately, sex reflects coordinated biological systems working together, revealing how deeply the body integrates pleasure, bonding, and survival functions within human physiology overall. Beyond mechanics, sex illustrates communication between brain and body, where signals coordinate timing, sensation, emotion, and recovery through finely tuned feedback loops. Scientific explanations replace myths, showing diverse responses are normal, shaped by biology, context, health, and experience rather than expectations or stereotypes alone. Viewing sex physiologically reduces shame, helping people understand sensations, emotions, and changes without judgment or unrealistic cultural narratives that often distort understanding. Education grounded in science encourages safer choices, clearer communication, and healthier relationships by aligning expectations with how bodies actually function over time. Across cultures, biology remains consistent, even as beliefs differ, reminding us shared physiology underlies varied experiences of intimacy across humanity worldwide today. Understanding these processes fosters empathy, patience, and respect, reframing intimacy as cooperation between systems rather than performance or comparison in everyday relationships. Scientific understanding does not replace emotion, but provides context, helping people navigate intimacy with clarity rather than confusion or misplaced expectation. From an evolutionary perspective, these responses develop to strengthen pair bonding, cooperation, and reproductive success across human societies over time. By understanding what happens biologically, individuals can approach intimacy with realism, compassion, and confidence instead of confusion or unrealistic cultural pressures alone. Science does not diminish intimacy. It deepens appreciation by explaining how complex systems create meaningful human experiences during intimate moments worldwide today.